Hello, everyone, and welcome to this course on A Plus certification. This is Chapter 0. This is the brief introduction to the PowerPoints from the book. So we're going to talk basically about why A Plus, how to get the most from the course, some of the labs, practice exams, and setting an exam date. On this slide, I'm supposed to introduce myself. You should know who I am at this point. My name is Eddie Horton. I have several certifications under my belt, including A+, Net+, Security+, Storage+, Mobility+, Imaging+, and several other ones from CompTIA. So a question that I'm often asked, especially when students come to me for advising, is why A+? One major reason for A+ certification is that this is a very good starting point. The A+ is an entry-level cert, and as far as certifications go in the computer field, I think it's probably one of the easiest. Some things you should be able to do with an A+ is install an operating system, put devices in a computer, install some common apps, connect a printer. You should be able to connect a PC to a network, troubleshoot some very common issues, and then there's a section on how to treat customers with respect and consideration. So another reason for A+ is that this differentiates you from people who don't have it. For a lot of you, you are going to school in computer science or computer information technology, and one thing that an A+ will do is give you something great to put on your resume. Since a lot of you will not have experience when you first get out of school, this is something that you can add to your resume that will count for some experience until you're able to get some. The other thing about it is that it is universally recognized. If you took A+ here and you took A+ in Anchorage, Alaska, you took the same test. So it shows that you know the same body of knowledge. And again, it's an entry-level certification, but it will open the door for you to look at getting some other certifications. So the A+ is 2 exams, the 220-801 and the 220-802. They both have 100 questions on them. You need 675 on the 801 out of 900 and 700 out of 900 on the 802. The tests are very similar, except that Essentials is more theory-based, and practical applications, they will give you little scenarios and ask you what to do. And this test went through a revision in 2012 that added quite a bit of material, specifically on Windows 7. Something that's going on right now that I expect you to see on your exams when you take this is the addition of a little bit of Windows 8 stuff and the removal of a lot of the Windows XP stuff, especially since XP is now officially at end of life, so it's being taken out of service. So how to get the most of this course? Pay attention, do the labs, do all of the practice tests you can get your hands on. There are lots of labs and practice tests. I suggest you get on the internet and look for practice tests. The more you can do, the better off you'll be prepared, because when you go to take that exam, you're not going to have any help. So anything you can do that'll help you study is something you should do. When you go to schedule it, you have the option of scheduling them back to back or one day and one the next. I strongly suggest you look at doing them back to back. I think it's much easier just to get them out of the way. And because they both contain the same information, I think you'll find that easier for you. All right, another suggestion they give you is to make a date. I agree with this as well. Go ahead and when you think you're getting close to being ready, set a date for the exam. Once you've got it in stone and it's scheduled, then it's kind of now or nothing, and it's much harder to put off studying when you have a date set in mind. They suggest find a study partner who has the same date as yours. That might make it easier if you're studying in a team. And then practice exams. I can't stress this enough. Take as many as you possibly can. One advice they give that is a little bit different, but I kind of agree with. Don't take extensive notes as I go through these lectures. These are going to be available for you. You can come back to these anytime you want. But if you end up taking a tremendous number of notes, what you're going to realize is you've made too much to memorize. An advice that I give some of my students, especially for the newer ones, the first time they take this test, it's okay to make some notes, but try to get everything down to one sheet. And the reason I say that is most of us can memorize one sheet. When you go to take the actual exam, you can't take any material in there at all. When you go in the testing room, you have to lock your wallet, keys, and phone up. You don't even get to use your own pencils. You have to use everything they provide. They'll give you a blank sheet of paper you can write whatever you want on, but you cannot take anything in there with you. So if you've memorized one sheet of notes, the first thing you can do when you walk in there is write that sheet of notes that you've memorized down. Then you can refer to it for the whole test. You can study that sheet of paper right up until the moment you walk in the room. But once you go in there, you got to put it away. You can't take it with you. Another piece of advice I'm going to give you is that don't let one question throw you off. Some questions you will not know the answer to, and that's okay. There are at least two test questions put on every CompTIA exam that are not graded. You don't know which two they are or where they're going to come, so it is totally expected that you're going to get one question you don't know anything about. That may be the first question you see. If that's the case, don't let it get to you that you don't know the material. Just because you don't know one question doesn't mean that you don't know the material. Another piece of advice is that remember, not everything is scored the same. They do not release how the scores are, but you can rest assured that not everything has the same point value. So missing a difficult one may not take as many points off as missing an easier one would be. Days before the exam, they say to review the topics you've missed, keep distractions to a minimum, avoid high stress situations. The day before, do something relaxing, eat something easy. Be sure you get a good night's rest. Don't try to cram that night before. Get a good night's sleep before you go in there. And that is a quick rundown on the introduction.